Hello everyone, this is Shubham Tiwari. I'm the community manager at the Thousand Faces Club, and this is Fireside Chats. Our today's guest is a generalist who has hands-on experience in driving growth, product management, social media growth hacking, among many other things. His expertise lies in figuring out 0 to 1 growth, taking ideas to product, and launching new products. He's the co-founder of Blinkstore. Rajat Dangi, welcome to the Thousand Faces Club.
Thank you, Shubham. Happy to be here. I have been following Thousand Faces Club for like a long time since it started.
We're honored to hear that.
We are excited that I'm finally got this opportunity to talk to you and be on the show.
Thank you so much. So Rajat, let's get started. What is Blinkstore, and how did you come up with this idea?
So in a very simple language, Blinkstore is a print-on-demand e-commerce builder. Meaning that anyone with an idea of starting a apparel business or a phone cover brand or anything like that can simply create their own website using Blinkstore. They can upload their designs or text or a bunch of products that we have in our catalog, which includes apparel, accessories, home decor items. You can customize them and start selling at your own profit margins. This whole process takes a few minutes and you are ready to sell online across India. And as and when people make purchase from your website of your products, Blinkstore will do everything in the backend. So we take care of inventory, printing these products on demand, and then shipping it to the end user. And whatever profits you earn as a creator, that shows up on your dashboard and that you can redeem later on. So it allows creators to build their own merchandises, helps them or anyone to build a brand like Playbook.com or a phone cover brand or a poster brand or anything like that. So that is what the product is. How we came across this or how we started working on this, it's a long story. So me and my co-founder Mofid, we have worked on more than 10 products together as our side products for the last three and a half years. And one of our side product was a parody website for Apple. So it's called The Real Apple. And we got inspired from Apple's website, made a very nice, interesting website. And at the end, thought that if some people visit this, some traffic that we get, how do we monetize? So we wanted to launch our own Real Apple merchandise. So we made a phone cover, which has entire Apple logo in the back of it. Not just Apple logo, it's the entire Apple without the bite. And we made such products using a product called Teespring. And Teespring is available in the West, in other countries, but not in India. And that is when we first got to know about it. Then ever since that day, we have been researching. Since 2020, we've been researching about it. And that was one instance. Other was that I wanted to start my own t-shirt brand called snacks.com. So it's live now. And me and Mofi were figuring out a print-on-demand vendor for ourselves, setting up a Shopify website. And we realized that there are a lot of barriers to cross if you want to do that. And we need something like Teespring or Redbubble in India. And that's when the ideas came. We started working on it in the beginning of last year. Took us a few months to build the MVP. And ever since we have been building it and growing.
Amazing. And one inside information for our viewers that our merch is also available on Blinkstore, Thousand Faces Club merch.
Yeah.
You can check it out. We'll put a link in the description. So Rajat, coming back to Blinkstore and how you grew it. In a recent LinkedIn post, you wrote that Blinkstore is a community-driven product. You mentioned how the community is suggesting features, resolving queries for each other, helping out. So can you share your community growth playbook with us?
Yeah. So we never intended to do it this way, or we never thought that this will happen. But one thing that we have been doing from the very beginning is that almost all the creators or sellers who have made any sales on Blinkstore, we have had first-hand talks with them. So they know us personally, we know them personally. And Mofid and I have had like thousands of such calls with our users. So what we realized while talking to them, that a lot of their problems or doubts were very similar. So we created a very small WhatsApp group. And early on, there was no invite link to it. We would just on our own manually add us regarding Blinkstore on WhatsApp and whoever is using it. And then slowly it became that place where if, let's say, you join it and you ask a question that how do I do, custom mockups on Blinkstore? And then instead of me or Mofid or anyone from our team answering it, someone else will answer that question. So we have started seeing that recently. And it stayed that way for many, many months. Then we recently did a release on a new product release. And in that, we included that join community link in our help section. And every day, like 4, 5, 10 people join that WhatsApp group. People ask questions like till 2 a.m. in the night.
Wow.
And people are replying to those questions as well. So that thing happened. Another thing which plays a major role is that people have been seeing the value in product from the very early days, from the very first launch that we made. And when they see value and when they start earning money, they become serious about it. And then they have very serious feature requests that they want. If something goes wrong in the product, they are highly upset. Even without us knowing that the website is down, in WhatsApp group, people start thinking us that something is wrong, something is down.
Yeah, that's the power of
so
community.
So it has happened gradually, and now we are seriously thinking about it, that how to take it further. We have people in our community who are running their own podcast. So they want to do podcast with each other, do collaboration with each other, and now it is growing through word of mouth only. Most of our growth comes through that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you also mentioned, this forum called Voice of Creators. Please tell us more about it.
So as I said, people have been requesting a lot of features. What a lot of people want Blinkstore to be is like very, very good e-commerce builder, just like Shopify is there. And for that, they have feature requests. We have hundreds of feature requests been coming in. So we decided to put up a forum called VOC, Voice of Creators. And now we just ask them to put up your feature request or suggestion or feedback in that forum. And that started happening. We launched the forum in September. As of now, there are more than 100 feature requests. Now people go upvote them. They also debate on these feature requests. And our CTO replies to each one of them. We have these markings that these features are planned. These features are already released. These features are upcoming now. So that is what Voice of Creators is. It is only a forum related to Blinkstore, where people ask us what they need next.
Right.
And so it is our guiding product. Like that is our product roadmap. We don't have any other document. That is what it is.
That's a wonderful community, use case which you just mentioned, and certainly, I'm particularly interested in as a community manager. So, but is it taking a very fundamental question here at this point? Why do people buy merch? Why do you think people find it necessary to go out and buy merch of a particular creator or a particular brand? Why don't they just go with the general stuff?
So there's a insight in that question that we gained later on after building it and launching it. So the merch concept started in the West, where it was a mechanism or a means to support someone or a business or a cause. So let's say an NGO will launch a merchandise. A small coffee shop down the street will launch a merchandise and say that if you buy products from us, like our merchandise, then it will support our business or our cause. So that is where it started. Then social media influencers started adopting that, because in the very early days, they had no other monetization method. So it was a way for fans to support their favorite creators, and creators would just say that if you like my content or my work, just buy my products and it will help me sustain myself. But that does not work as it is in India.
Okay, interesting.
In India, the merchandise word does not work as it is. So people are not buying merchandise from favorite creators because they like the creator. They like the designs. They are more attracted towards these things, that the designs that you would find generally by any illustrator or a influencer who has thought about a punchline or something and put it on product. You won't find that in any other apparel brand or a D2C brand, right? So design plays a very big role. Then one more communication that we changed is that we are helping you launch a business, not a merchandise. So people are more interested. I have seen personally that India has become very entrepreneurial. Everyone is thinking about starting something like a side hustle or side business. So that is now the communication. And merch way to support something or to show that you belong to a certain community. But it's a very small segment in India. A bigger chunk of it lies in business building.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's like a token of appreciation in the West, but in here it's like you see people wearing t-shirts like do not disturb me because I'm already disturbed, something like that. So humor, design, everything it works. in very interesting ways in India. So,
Correct.
see, one of the main things we wanted to, talk about was growth. And of course, speaking of growth, can you tell us more about how
Yeah.
Blinkstore
Mhm.
went from 0 to 1? Because that's the hardest step in any growth journey. So, yeah.
Yeah. So there are, fixed number of marketing channels that you have. These are like 15 or 10, 12, 15 channels, which is direct sales, piggybacking, influencer marketing, social media marketing, uh, SEO, ASO, SEM, etc. So what we did is that the very first 10, 15 stores on Blinkstore were created by our own friends.
Okay.
Our friends who were designers, we got all of them on a call. We did a very small 2-week program where we'll give them access to Blinkist Store, ask all of them to create their own store or a brand. And then for 2 weeks, we did 4 or 5 calls with all of them together to let them showcase it to us and figure out what challenges they faced. So it has always been a product-led journey for us, that we want to build a very nice product that people like. And if you like it, you will tell your friends about it.
Right.
So that was our first thing. Then we explored a lot more channels. Like one is called piggybacking, which is where you go to our nearest competitors' users and you message them, you call them, and you tell them about your own product.
Okay.
And that is how we got our like next 30, 40 users, you know.
So what do you tell
That we
them?
say
Like,
that you're
what
already selling.
exactly happens after that?
Yeah. So there is one product called Frankly Wearing, which is like Redbubble, where you get a page to sell your products. It's a marketplace. You don't get your own website or anything. It's a very nice product. And we tell these users that you are already selling it here. Why don't you try and set up your own brand or a website? It will be your own thing. And we have a larger catalog. We are building a lot more features. So that is how we got more users on the platform. And then the third thing that worked for us, which is still going very strong, is SEO. So we figured out some gaps on the internet. Like, so the keyword that the industry uses is called print on demand, and we can now say that we are one of the top 3 print on demand players in India. And
Wow.
if people search that print on demand websites in India, then Blinkist Store comes up in the very top results. And then we started writing a lot of content, improving it for SEO, like how to earn money online, how you can monetize your Instagram, your YouTube, your content. And I started giving ideas to people who want to start their own business. So SEO also worked. And then, so what I am trying to say is we have tried all these 12 channels and saw which one is giving us results. Then we stuck to those channels. So social media ads did not work for us. We also didn't have a lot of budget, or we didn't want to spend a lot of money in social media ads.
Right.
So we ran some promotions, then we stopped doing it. We have never done any influencer marketing. So we have never paid an influencer to promote our product so far.
Okay.
Because the idea is that we are enabling you to earn money. So if you use the product, you will anyways earn money. And if you don't find it useful, then we are lacking somewhere. So we want to build a great product. That is one thing. And we want to make it very easily accessible, so easily available. If you are searching for it on Twitter, on Google, on YouTube, then you should be able to discover us. So that is where we stand now with 0 to 1 growth. In the past, with other products, we have done influencer marketing, which has worked well.
Right.
We have also done waitlist with some products that has worked well. So it comes down to you exploring 10 channels in a very short period, like 8 weeks or 4 or 5 weeks.
Right.
And then saying that this channel is working well. So I'll stick to this for next 3 months.
It's amazing. Wish you the best. But what is something, about your work that people still don't understand or struggle to understand? Or maybe if I rephrase it, I mean, what people, what is it something that people get wrong about this industry or the space that you're working in?
So one thing is very clear, that it's a very new market. It's an emerging space. A lot of people think that how many such brands can survive, or how many such big brands can be built out of this business. And we have seen this trend that YouTubers in US earn anywhere from like $100,000 to $5 million a year by running their own brands. The very first few internet celebrities who came up, like Paris Hilton, she also started. So she is not just limited to fashion, but she has perfume lines and jewelry lines.
Yeah.
So I think building owned commerce or monetization via commerce for creators is a long-term strategy. It is different than in brand promotions. or monetizing your content like courses or workshops, etc.,
Right.
or selling digital products, it is something that can give you results even beyond when you start creating content. And it can like stand on its own like a brand. So
Nice.
uh, so it is little difficult to convey to creators that you have to build a brand and then look at it from a 2 years and 4 years perspective. That it will keep on giving you sustained revenue for years to come. So we
Right.
are trying to work on that to communicate that better.
Nice. So do you think, creators like Mr. Beast have, mastered this space? You're talking about they have the long-term vision, they are branching out into, everything. So what are your
Yeah.
views on it?
They are doing amazing. We are learning from them. So they are the like pioneers. They are trying out new things, and we are sort of following or the lagging. Like so, India is a lagging industry. Like we see trends happening or building
Right.
up in China and US, and then we try to tweak them. So they do not work as it is. So I won't say it's a copycat thing will happen in India, but we learn from them and
Right.
try to implement those things in the Indian context. And
Absolutely.
I think in India also creators have the capacity to start their own burger chains, because how we see them is that as a creator, you are like a D2C brand with a lot of organic visibility. So to kickstart, you don't need to spend a lot of money. You know,
Yeah.
recently there was a report published that D2C is going to become $100 billion industry in India. So, and recently I've seen that in a Shark Tank episode that this one business which is selling hair oil has a family member who is an influencer with 400,000 followers on Instagram, and
Wow.
all their sales come through her content. Okay.
Okay.
So every influencer, every creator with organic reach is an untapped D2C brand. They can either create their own product and sell, or either work with another brand to help them grow, but they have to pick a niche like Mr. Beast did. He picked some areas where he works. He does not like work that way that he's promoting someone else's product. He's building his
Yeah.
own brand.
Yeah,
So more
absolutely.
and more creators in India will also do that.
We hope that they do, because there's so much untapped market
Yeah.
here. And speaking of reports, Rajat, you have written quite a lot on the creator economy and its immediate future as well. You wrote about the 2023 landscape. So what factors do you think will impact
Yeah.
creators the most in 2023, specifically if we are talking about, let's say, the topmost Western creators?
Okay. So there are some tailwinds which has been working for India, which are still going strong. That is the adoption of internet, increasing penetration of smartphones, and then now the new thing which is 5G is also coming in India
Right.
and getting adopted. So the trajectory of increased consumption of content will be going upward to the right, and which means that more and more creators get more and more visibility and eyeballs on the internet. So that is one thing. Now, other trends that we are seeing is short form content getting onto every other platform. So every app which has social
Yeah.
feed or content is adopting short form content. So that is one of my prediction that it will continue going strong, and more platforms will adopt that. Even if you see on Twitter now that they have a special kind of video view.
Yeah.
When you tap on a video, it opens differently. Maybe they will include a vertical scroll on top of that. It's a highly addictive feature. Everyone is adopting that. One more thing I wrote about is LinkedIn influencers, and I have seen some of B2B companies mostly who have paid startup founders or influencers on LinkedIn to do their own promotion. And if you are someone who has great audience on LinkedIn, then chances are that you'll be able to monetize it very soon in this year.
Yeah.
One more factor that there is the increased funding that startups are getting in this space. So what happens, like if you see the industries like food delivery or ride sharing, at the end the consumer wins because there's a lot of money in the market and everything is subsidized, so we get cheaper rides, cheaper food. Similarly, in this space, a lot of the startups are well funded. So this will be a very winning situation for creators because all of them will be going after and
Yeah.
a different category of creators, paying them upfront, signing contracts with them, getting them onboard on the platform. So a lot of money is to be made for creators, but platforms and creators both have to just ensure that they do it sustainably. So it stays as it is long in the long run.
Right. But do you also think that, with this ongoing, job cuts and the downturn, and the marketing budgets getting shrunk and all, do you think, the creators will find it increasingly hard to get brands, because they don't have the funds as much as they had earlier? So what are your views on that?
That is possible. So what is happening? So if you look at a product like Wishlink, which enables a creator to create a affiliate link of any other D2C brand or a apparel brand and put it on their Instagram and sell. So now the brands have a choice of comparison that what is giving them a good ROI. And some of these products like Wishlink or Hyped are coming in,
Yeah.
which still gives, I think, competitive ROI in comparison to social media ads. So brands will look into that. And I think influencer marketing, in some cases, produces better results compared to spending directly on social media. The cost of acquisition of one customer on social media ads has gone really, really high in the past couple of years because more brands are spending on that channel. So I don't think it will reduce, or creators will find it hard. But both brands and creators will need to work together to ensure that cost per sale or cost acquisition does not shoot too high.
Of course, absolutely.
So that is my thought. But what I see is still influencer marketing is going strong.
Right.
There have been those comments that it will slow down, but I don't see that slowdown happening.
Right. And you touched upon the categories. So which creator category, creator economy category, are you most excited about and why?
So I have written a large article about the landscape of creator economy in India last year. There are many categories talked about, like closed communities, commerce, premium content, etc. Number one, I would say, because we are working on it, is commerce, that is creator-led commerce, which is very, very emerging. Very few tier one influencers or creators have built their own brands. So in next 2 to 3 years, that landscape will change completely.
Right.
We'll be seeing a lot more brands, not just the kind of brands that we enable, but even perfume brands or cosmetic brands,
Right.
or any other kind of D2C brand coming in through creators, run by creators. Because when they start their own brand, the cost of acquisition for them would be zero for at least a year.
Yeah.
And then when they venture out into other markets, then will add up. But the initial barrier to distribution is very low for them. So creator-led commerce, I think, is a very exciting industry to watch out for.
Interesting. So Rajat, if I may ask you, what is one thing about creator economy's future that nobody can, predict future for certainty, but there must be something that you still struggle to understand or maybe hesitant to comment upon?
Definitely, there is one aspect which I keep on thinking about and struggle to understand, that how all of these creators, because it's a very new industry, Facebook, Instagram, it has only been like 10, 15 years, 20 years since this industry got formed up. And if you look at the very few first influencers, like, for example, Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
She was first internet celebrity, and she later stopped creating content because she was using MySpace and Vine. Both the platform got shut down.
Yep.
But then she ventured out into a lot of brands that she built. So she has perfume brands selling in Middle East and US, apparel brand, accessories, jewelry. Now we have to see in the next 10 years that the creators who are today 25 to 30 or 35 years old, what will happen to their career trajectory in next 20 years? Because there is no salary structure, there is no retirement plan in this business or this career. It's very difficult career as well, because you're always on the go, creating something, distributing it online, and keeping yourself up to date with new platforms coming in.
Yeah.
So how this evolves as a career choice, we're still, we don't know what will happen. Some of the creators have done it really well, who have transitioned from platform to platform, still managed an audience, and grown old with that audience or evolved their content. One of the example of that is a YouTuber from US, like everyone knows him, Casey Neistat. So
Yeah, of course.
he started pre-YouTube. Okay, and he has been going strong. Now he's very senior in the industry, one of the
Yeah.
best, and he has kept his content fresh with the time. So we'll see how that happens in India and with all other creators in different categories. Because what you are doing at the age of like 20, 25 might not be the correct content when you age 10 years more. And then audience also evolves with time.
Of course, you need to pivot with time. And I think that's where, creators like Mr. Beast, Casey Neistat, they become, the pioneers that we look up to. Because what will happen with Mr. Beast in the next 10 years is going to set precedents. And, people are going to replicate his playbooks and everything. So, yeah, it's really, really interesting. And I think creators are really aware of it. Because at the end of the day, they're also like, they're the cultural icons of our times, right? So they're also looking to ways to explore it. So Rajat, you have also written educational content on blockchain previously. And educational content is a big part of creator economy because all of us are learning. It's a new space. So tell us what kind of educational content would work with young creators who are looking for guidance or who are looking up to creators like Mr. Beast, but they still need some handholding. So what kind of educational content would you create for young creators?
There are many categories, and I think there is a space for an edtech company here as well that creates or educates new creators. So we have very specialized edtech companies, let's say companies which are helping you become a product manager, helping you become a marketer, or helping you become a better programmer. In that same, there can be a vertical of edtech company that helps you become a creator, which educates you about tools. There are a lot of skills that are required here. Like, for example, you are recording this, so you know what tools to use, how to record it, how to, cut it, then release on the internet. So NAS Academy is there. NAS Academy has such courses, and in India, we don't see there are YouTubers itself who learn on their own, and they put their own content out on the internet and teach others. So it is possible to build a specialized edtech company there and teach creators. Another category of vertical where creators struggle is with finance. So some of the creators are earning really well, but don't know where to spend it, how to go ahead with it. Some of the creators I know personally want to start their own startups, but they either don't have that technical expertise that is required. So they are really good with content they create. They have the expertise, they have the skill set, but don't know what to do next with it. So that is another thing that creators turning into startup founders is happening, and we might need a lot of content around that. So if you want to start a startup, you have all the kind of information on the internet. Y Combinator has produced a lot of content, but
absolutely.
How can you from being an educator or a YouTuber go into running your own business?
And I think AVTV is one of the examples. I mean, it's essentially a startup, right? They're creating a lot of content around it. So yeah, it's really interesting.
One more model that works is that there are companies traditionally which upskill others and help them land a job and then take a percentage from their salary for a year, right? And I have met some people who are creating similar kind of funds for creators. So instead of investing in individuals or startups, they want to invest in creators and then take a percentage of their earning for said duration. So that is another possibility here.
Yeah, that's also there. And speaking of 2023, and we have discussed the creator economy landscape. What is one thing about yourself that you're going to change in 2023, or you're at least looking forward to?
So there is one thing I'm procrastinating for so long, is creating video content myself. I have been writing blogs for many years. So since 2016, 17, I have been blogging for clients, for myself, also ghost writing for many people, but have never done. So it's still a popular form of content because search engines read text and you need text content for SEO.
Yeah.
But consumers, prefer video, short form video content, YouTube, podcast,
Right.
audio content as well. And I want to change that barrier I've set for myself that I cannot do it or I have
Right.
difficulty
Right.
doing it online.
I
I
hope
want to
this.
change it and start my own thing.
I hope this proves to be a precursor to the things coming, because you're doing just amazingly fine on a video format as well. And Rajat, I mean, you're a reader, you write as well, and you love to do many things. So give us, top 3 recommendations in terms of your books, and what are you reading nowadays?
I am reading this book called The Daily Stoic. I just read one page of it every day. That's it. It's a 365-pager book.
Yeah, Ryan
One
Holiday.
chapter on it.
Yeah.
So that's all I have. There was a time in my life, like 2020, 2021, where I was reading a lot of books, but that changed in recently because I got more busy in work. One of my favorite books in all those is The Difficulty of Being Good.
Okay.
Which is a retelling of Mahabharata in a different way and then learning from each character.
Great.
That's all. Like, I cannot think of anything straight up right now. Another book. So there's one more book which opened up my worldview is Homo Sapiens and
Okay.
Homo Deus, the follow-on on
Homo
that.
Deus and Sapiens. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all.
It's amazing. Last question to you, Rajat. Would you like to nominate anyone for our show?
Yes, I have thought about this. So there's a startup founder. His name is Gaurav Tolani. He is my senior from college.
Okay.
And he's building a very interesting product for creators, which is an AI-based tool for highlight detection. In simple words, if we upload this recording of this video in their tool,
right,
they will give us like 5, 7, 30-second clips of highlights from this interview that we can directly put on reels and shorts. So he is helping creators bring down long form content to small bite-sized content through AI.
Wow.
I think it would be great if you guys chat with him.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rajat, for your time and giving us all the insights that you've been, writing about and coming to the show.
Shubham.
We hope you take, Blinkstore and your future, things to places higher and higher. And thanks for our audience members for coming in. We'll see you in the next episode of the Fireside Chats. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
And cut. That's it for today's episode, guys. If you really liked it, please subscribe to the 1000 Faces Club and press the bell icon below so that you don't miss any videos from us. Thank you.